So you can either take your blanket, or Nicole, if you want to use, I know you have a block, you can take a block for a chest opener like this, or you can take the blanket, and there's two ways you can do it. You can either just roll it long ways and lay over it along your spine so it's still a chest opener, or you can do the one that we do a lot, which is this one. And you can always bend the feet if the lower back's a little stiff, or you can lengthen the legs depending on what you do. So with the chest opener like this, perhaps you can feel that widening in the fronts of the shoulders. You might feel something between your shoulder blades. Maybe you feel a lift in that chest. And so then you can focus on moving your breath just in and out, just noticing where it's moving, where it's not moving perhaps. Notice if the chest opening gives you some space either in the armpits or the upper chest, or this sort of upper quadrant. And then see if you can feel your abdominals just dropping down to the floor and softening that way. There might be a little bit of length. There's a bit of length coming down that whole front body. Because we sit in cars and we sit at computers a lot, we're just often in flexion. And so this is such a nice posture to do, to take us a little bit more into extension, to create more length and give yourself more space in that front body. And that's where the bolsters and the blocks and all that jazz can come in really handy when you have them. Or I guess even, you could find things like a book to put under your chest as well. I mean, of course, obviously they make yoga props now because it's big business. And people want some ease, and yeah, I got a little bit nuts and and bought quite a few yoga props. So yoga props are fun, but there's things in your household that you can use as yoga props, and that's what many of the earlier teachers were doing, was just trying benches and stools and blankets just to see how that can help you access a pose. And we'll just do a few rounds of really slowing down that exhale. So see if you can count that exhale, slowing it way down. And when you get to the bottom of the breath, just allow the inhale to come in spontaneously, and see if you can match the counts of your inhale to the counts of your exhale. We'll just do a few of those, because a lot of times we come into yoga class a little bit, sometimes the mind's racing, or you've been busy, or you've been in a hurry. So we just want to try to help the body and the mind catch up with each other. And also just recognize if there's any stiff places or any place that you start to become more aware of because you're in this pose of repose, as they say. So then slowly release the breath practice and move your whatever you had under your chest out of the way and just actually, since you've moved it, come up to sitting on your sit bones here with the knees bent and the feet up, and then just see if you can slowly round the spine down to the floor so that it's like you're putting each vertebrae on the floor with the head the last to arrive. And then slowly just slide the feet up until the feet are on the floor. Bend, the legs are bending and the feet are on the floor, so the knees are up to the ceiling. And then again, you can place the palms down next to your hips, or you can interlock the hands underneath the head. And we'll begin with inhaling the knees up to the chest, extending up to the ceiling. Exhale, bending the knees down to the floor. So really press through the heels, opening the backs of the legs, bending the knees, feet on the floor. And again, if you want to make it a little more intense, feel free to bring the arms overhead, and or you can hold the elbows for a different kind of stretch. Arms overhead just give you more length through the side body, and they might make the pose more intense. And then do 2 more rounds like this. And then just bring the feet on the floor and the hands next to you. And if you need a little bit of a, pressing the heels and shaking out, you can shake out the abs a little bit. And then you just press that sacrum back on the floor. And we've just got that flexion in the thigh sockets. And then we're going to inhale the knees into the chest and extend it up to the ceiling. And then again, you can choose your arm position. And we're going to really extend through those legs and come down to hovering close to the floor. And then inhale up. You, of course, can play with how low you go. If it's crazy for your body today to do that, you can just go halfway. But we'll always come up and have a slight rest here at the top. Exhale, hovering close to the floor. Inhale up. Another breath there. Exhale down. Remember, we used to do this against the wall where you tap your heels on the wall. So that's another way to do it. Or you can tap your heels on the couch if you're practicing close to the couch. Exhale, hovering the heels. Inhale up. Exhale down, hover those heels. Inhale up. Exhale, hover those heels. Inhale up. And then just bend the knees again. Place them on the floor, palms next to you. And you can do a little bit of a shake out if you need the release there. And then roll over to your side. And we'll come up to hands and hands and knees. Actually, we'll do a little hand wrist stretch. It's almost like a knife. I started doing this after I broke my wrist. So bend your hands on the floor and bring your knees onto your hands. So this is a really nice. It's funny to call things nice. It's a bit, I mean, you could sort of take your knees and massage into your hands, which might feel good, I don't know. And then we're going to play with this a couple different ways. Start to bring the sit bones towards the heels. And, you know, only go as far as the stretch works for you. I don't know, I just remembered this today. I'd totally forgotten about it. And then you just inhale coming up, put a little, and you can put as much pressure into your knees, or you can soften it by putting a little more pressure in the backs of the hands. So it's up to you. And you can really engage your abdominals here. So you lift the abdominals and then you bring those sit bones back to the heels. And then inhale, come up. And then just tuck the toes underneath. And then bring the sit bones to the toes. That gives you a little foot stretch or instep stretch while you're stretching out the wrists. You might get a stretch in the forearms. It's just whatever's going on in your body. And then slowly release that. You might want to just shake out the hands, shake out the wrists. And then really place the hands on the floor underneath your shoulder blades. Really extend through the fingers. Really press that hand into the floor. See if you can feel that engagement with the hands and the shoulder blades. And then we'll go a little bit into cat and dog tilt. So rounding the spine into cat. Inhale to dog. Rounding the spine into cat. Inhale to dog tilt. Rounding the spine into cat. Inhale to dog. Rounding the spine into cat. Inhale to dog. And on the next one, bring your right knee and forehead in and extend it long. So we're just folding in with the spine. So you're trying not to muscle the action. Inhale long, bending in. So it's sort of like a swing action. And then when you get the leg, have the leg long, shift over and really press into your right hand and left shin and extend the left arm long. Then if you want to go to a little bit of a stretch and a back bend, or I guess it's a bit of a chest opener too, you can hold the ankle or the foot and try to get some shoulder stretch here, really kicking the foot into the hand. So it's the same action you'd use for bow pose. And then bring that leg down. And then just readjust your hands, especially if you are feeling a little bit of pressure in there or a little tension. And then again, bring that left knee in. Extend it long. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then then the next time you take the leg long, really press into the left hand and the right shin and extend that right arm long. Finding that length between your tailbone and your top of your head. And then if you want to bring the hand to the foot or the ankle, really press the ankle or the foot into that hand. Get that shoulder stretch and a little bit of front thigh stretch. And then extend it long again. Bring the hand down and just go into big toes together. Knees wide, really extend through the arms, really extend through those sit bones. Couple of breaths here. So this pose is really in those shins. It's like you could be a rabbit or some kind of animal and pounce up if you needed to, but there's still a restfulness here. And then inhale, coming up to all fours, and then tucking the toes under, and come into a downward facing dog. You might want to walk the hands out. You might want to walk the feet back a little bit. Different styles of yoga do shorter or longer downward dogs. So really lift the front thighs, opening behind the legs. Trying to keep your ears level with your forearms. And then exhale the knees down, go into big toes together, knees wide again. Finding length in that sacrum area through the tailbone, sit bones, into the heels. And if you can't go back that far, you can certainly stay up a little bit higher. And then again, inhale onto all fours. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. And then if you can, walk your hands towards your feet. You can have bend in the knees if you'd like. You can, and then just really shake through your arms and your head. And since we're down here and we stretch the hands that way, see if you can tuck your hands under your feet. And you can keep the knees bent, but trying to get the hands fully under your feet and just feel that pressure. If your hamstrings are open, you can slowly straighten the legs. And then release the hands and slowly roll up your spine. And come up to standing. And we'll stand at the front of our mat into Tadasana. And then we'll inhale those arms up to Urdhva Hastasana, arms overhead pose. And then just come into Utkatasana. So, sometimes they call it chair or powerful pose. And then from here, see if you can take your right foot long behind you. So you've got that right leg bent now. And then slowly engage the abdominals and lift the chest up. And then to come out of the pose, you lean a little bit forward and bring that back knee into Utkatasana. And then inhale up, exhale the arms down. So we'll get a little bit of butt burn today. And then inhale the arms overhead, bend down into Utkatasana, powerful pose. And I'm taking the left leg long behind me. The arms are forward. And then you lift the abdominals, the chest and the arms can come up. And then lean forward, bring the back foot in into Utkatasana. And then inhale the arms up, exhale down. So that'll get your heart rate going a little bit, maybe. And then inhale the arms up again, coming down into Utkatasana. Keeping that lean forward, take the right foot long behind you, press the heel down, and from here we're going to rise up and bring the arms down into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. And then bring the arms back around, lean forward, bring the back leg into Utkatasana, and then inhale, come up, exhale the arms down. Couple of breaths into Tadasana, and then again, inhale the arms overhead. Really engage the abdominals there. Exhale into Utkatasana. Then again, take that left leg long behind you. Put the heel down. And then we're going to turn around and just let those arms come into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. Sometimes you need to scoot the feet a little further to get a deeper bend. And then you pivot around that leg again. Bring the arms forward. Inch that back leg into Utkatasana. Inhale the arms up. Exhale down. Couple of breaths there. In and out of your nose. Slowing down the heart rate. And then again, inhale the arms overhead. Exhale into Utkatasana. Take the right foot long behind you, bringing the heel down. And this time you're just going to drop the forearm down, and then you just can twist over and bring the top arm up. If you need to do something else with the arm, you can keep it on your side. Otherwise, try to bring it up and over so you feel that long stretch between the right foot all the way up the route fingertips. And then to come out of it, again, you pivot the arms together, bring the back foot in, inhale the arms up, exhale down, a couple of breaths here. And then again, inhale the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, exhale into Utkatasana, powerful pose. And this time you take that left foot long behind you, heel down, forearm on the thigh, keeping the top arm up and over. So when we go through standing poses in different ways, it engages your body differently, and you might find ways that actually are easier for you or that open up places in you that normally you wouldn't get to in this pose. So then we pivot back around with both arms, bring that back foot into Utkatasana, inhale the arms up, exhale down, couple of breaths here. Trying to slow that heart rate down. And then again, inhale the arms overhead. Exhale into Utkatasana. take the right foot long behind you. And again, this time you're going to slowly straighten both legs and open the arms so you're in Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle pose. And then to come out of it, you bend the front leg, bring those arms parallel, bring the back leg into Utkatasana. Inhale the arms up, exhale down. Then inhale the arms up, exhale into Utkatasana. You take the left foot long behind you, slowly straighten the legs, you open the arms, come into extended triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana. And then you begin to bend that front leg, bring those arms parallel, bring the back foot into Utkatasana. Inhale the arms up and exhale the arms down. So we'll start, laying down and setting up for Sphinx pose. So what you're going to do is you've got those forearms long, hands here, and then tuck the toes under one leg and lengthen the leg. Place the leg down, then take the toes and lengthen the other leg. Place it down, then really turn on the legs so that you're engaging the legs and the abdominals. And then you can just press into the mat, pull forward like you get that chest going forward. Couple of breaths here. And then release the legs, so soften the legs. Usually what will happen is the toes will turn into each other, but it's not essential. And then you can either stack the hands and put your forehead on top for neutral neck, or if you like to turn one ear, you can. A lot of people have neck issues, so don't do that if you have some neck issues. But it can also be a good thing to stretch out your neck. So we sometimes have to play with a variety of ways to go into poses. And then come on up and just have the forearms there for a minute before we go into Cobra pose. So again, take the toes under and stretch through the front of your leg. Place that leg down, do the other leg. Place that leg down, then you're really working those legs. Then bring the palms under your shoulders. You're really bringing those elbows towards the body, and then just push up. We're not going to go very far. Just lift that chest up, really working the legs, the abdominals. Couple of breaths here. And then you slowly come down. And if you have the forehead on your hands, then change whichever hand's on top. And when we breathe here, we can really breathe into that whole backside body. So if I was in the class, I could go around and place my hands here to bring your awareness into the breath, into the back of the body. And then bring your hands long in front of you and the feet long behind you. Again, you can tuck the toes under one leg to stretch the front of the leg. The other one, stretch the front of the leg. And then we're going to inhale the right arm, left leg, head. Exhale down. Then we'll lift the left arm, right leg, head. Exhale down. Then the right arm, left leg, head. Exhale down. Left arm, right leg, head. Exhale down. So now take the right hand and find your ankle or your foot and press the heel or the foot or the ankle into the hand so you start to lift the leg off the floor. If that's enough for you, stay there. If you want to go further, lift the left arm and the right leg. And then slowly release that side down and change the left hand around to the right ankle or the foot. And then slowly kick it up. And if that's enough for you, stay there. You want to go further, lift the right arm, left leg off the floor. And then release that down. Make a pillow with your hands. Couple of breaths there. And then bring the palms down next to your side. Put the forehead on the floor. Again, take the toes and stretch out one leg and then stretch out the other. And if you can, bring the feet together. We'll go into full locust pose, Salambhasana. So inhale, first the feet off the floor, the legs, then the head and the chest and the arms like a rocket ship. Couple of breaths here. And then inhale, slowly come down and place your forehead on the hands, or you can turn the head and just breathe into that backside body. So they say when you turn the head, your ear to the floor. So that's the idea. So just pay attention to what way you need to do your neck in the resting pose. And then see if you can bend both heels towards the sit bones. And then find your feet or find your ankles. And we'll just stay here for a minute to really stretch through the front thighs. And you know, you're free to do one side and then the other if you can't grab both feet. But if you can grab both feet or both ankles, you're going to slowly kick the feet into the hands and come up to where you can. Try not to squeeze the shoulder blades. Try to keep the shoulders open in both directions. So the front shoulders and then the back space between the shoulder blade. And then slowly come down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, and then you can slowly wiggle yourself up. A version of child's pose, either forehead on the floor, hands next to you. You can stack the hands, put the hands under the forehead. You just want a nice gentle C curve. And really breathing into your lower back. And then inhale, slowly coming up. And before you go into either Shavasana in some shape or form or feet up the wall, we'll just do a quick little twist. So lay on your back. You can bring your arms up. Got the feet on the floor, bend the knees up. And then you can just go over to one side, wherever the feet go. If the legs come on the floor, great. If you have a little support under it, you can, or you can put your opposite hand on the opposite leg to give you a bit of a stretch. And then inhale the knees up. Bring the knees to the opposite side, but you still want to keep both arms on the floor. And then bring the legs up. And you can either put your feet on the couch, if you've got a chair, if you've got a wall, you can elevate, and you can even, I'm showing it with my little cushions, but you can even put your legs on a chair and put the block under your chair. So you've got a little bit of elevation in the pelvis, if that suits you. So whichever pose you want to do for the final Shavasana, you can actually do pure Shavasana, lying down on the floor Shavasana, if you want. Otherwise, whatever pose suits you. And then slowly begin to soften your breath. And perhaps you remember a little bit about the sensations or thoughts that were entering your mind when you first began today. And just notice what's happening for you now with your thoughts in your body. In your breath. And then beginning with your left toes, you're softening your left toes, your left foot and instep, your left ankle, your left shin and calf muscle, the left knee, the left thigh, the left thigh socket. So your whole leg from your toes, feet, ankles, lower legs, knees, upper thighs, thigh socket is relaxed. And then your right toes, top of the right foot, your right instep, your right heel, ankle, the right shin, the right calf muscle, the right knee, your right thigh, your right thigh socket. So your whole from your right toes through your foot, ankle, lower leg, knee, upper thigh, and thigh socket is relaxed. starting with your left fingertips, hands, wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arm, shoulder blade, front of the shoulder. So from your fingertips through your hands, wrists, upper arms, forearms, elbows, upper arms, and shoulder are nice and relaxed. And then beginning with your right fingers, right palms and hands and wrists, your lower arm, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder area on your right side. So from your fingertips through your hands, wrist, forearms, elbow, upper arms, and shoulder are nice and relaxed. And then see if you can feel from your left foot all the way up the left side of the body, all the way out to the left fingertips is relaxed. And then from your right toes, all the way up your right leg, all the way up the right side of your body, right shoulder, down your arm, through your fingertips is relaxed. Your collarbone notches soften, your throat softens, back of the neck softens and lengthens, your scalp softening, your forehead widens and softens, space between the eyebrows widens and softens, your eyes rest into the eye socket, your cheeks soften, your jaw softens, your chin is softening, so your whole face, head, neck, throat is relaxed. And then slowly begin to deepen your breath, bringing a little bit of movement into your fingers, your toes, your hands, your feet. And maybe you want to take a big stretch wherever you are, whatever position you're in. And then you can slowly roll to your right side. And as you come up to sitting, you want to make sure that your head is the last thing to come up on your spine. So you really want to roll that up last. And then thank you for coming, and namaste.